Hi, I'm Peter Vonar,
And I'm Tania Kolar.
and today we are talking about how charisma alter your environment. Charisma is something we almost never talk about it, but it's something very important. Of course, charisma is a kind of energy. And the more I am who I really am, the more or the higher my charisma is. That means I bring the example. Charisma is almost like light, being light. And the more you are in that lightful state, the more you bring light to people, to the whole environment. And very often it happens in that way. When we are not aware of that, then we join a group. We think we have to give some signs that they are aware that we are here. But actually, when we are aware that we have a high charisma, so only with our presence, other people can feel that we are here. And then we don't have to act in this or in that additional way, because only the charisma is doing the rest.
Yeah, I think that charisma comes, with self-confidence. There's definitely a link to that. I think the more confident you are, the more free you are to express your own inner truth and your individualism. And I truly believe that that's what, charisma is that inner being, and you're shining that and extending that to others, just being in the presence of yourself, your authentic self. Charisma has that beautiful charm. And we all know those people who just exude self-confidence, and they have this incredible energetic energy coming from them. They're very charismatic, and we're drawn to people like that. We feel comfortable with people like that because they set a space of allowing us also to be our true authentic selves. And I think that is a goal that we all have. When we're young, we tend to suppress what we are and who we are because we want to fit in. Our need to be loved, and that's, a basic inherent need as children, is that we need to be loved. And so when we're younger, when we learn that, well, we're not getting the attention when, let's say, we've done something that our parents or caregivers deem to be bad, we now feel that it's not just the moment that is bad. We now link that to we are unlovable. We're not getting the love. And so now with that behavior, or it's just an emotion, perhaps, you were angry at something and your parents taught you, well, it's not right to be angry. So you now suppress those feelings because you feel that being who you are, and in that moment you felt anger or you felt whatever emotion it was, you didn't get the attention or the validation that you needed. So you now suppress that. And then we live a life, through adulthood, suppressing our inner innate being, and we block the charisma. We all have it. It's not like you look at somebody and say, oh, they're so charismatic and, I can't be like that. You are like that. You just have to remember who you are and let that natural charisma exude and pour forth from you.
And be curious how your charisma looks like, because every individual has their own charisma. And just be aware of your own charisma. So just imagine if you are joining a group and everyone in the group is aware of their own charisma. Can you imagine how high the frequency, the energy will be in that group? And that would be so amazing, and that would be so wonderful. And don't pay attention to people they don't allow to do that, because the world needs our charisma, the world needs our light, the world needs our lightful energy, our joyful energy, our lovable energy, because you know what's going on right now in the outside. So just stay there and just be convinced we are here to let our light shining bright. And of course, as Tania mentioned to you, it's so important to purify ourselves, to be aware of that, to heal these diseases or these situations we experienced when we were younger, because because we are worth to do that. And also, I think there is not a negative purpose what our parents did to us because that happened in a natural way. Maybe they haven't been able to do it in a better way, but we can discover this greatness in us, and the more we are aware about this greatness in us, we can show that to the world, and in a very natural way, as wise men do. Because I love the example or to compare everything with wise men. How does a wise man behave? And that's not a loud person. That's not a silent person. That's a person who is aware who he or she is. And according to that, they're aware about their own light. And I think I just want to give you this example as a reminder. Be aware of how wise men behave.
That's a good, call out, because I think a lot of people, they tend to want to mold their words and their thoughts to fit into a situation. And when you can be wise enough and be aware that you can just be yourself, and do things that will help you to get to that point. For example, if you are, in a group environment and, you've started to talk to one group, and you don't have to always try to fit into the conversation or to what's being said or to agree with people, particularly if you don't agree. Because every time you do that, you're stripping away a little bit of that charisma. It's not necessarily you're stripping it away, you're hiding it. You're just not letting it come through, right? So you put a little cover on that. And so if you are in that situation, you don't need to stay in that situation. If it just doesn't feel comfortable and it doesn't feel right, then find another group that is going to start to now feel good and allow you the freedom to be yourself and to express those feelings and your thoughts. Now, we all are never always going to agree with one another, right? But I think it's a beautiful thing that we can respect each other's choices and decisions, and just allow people to express what is going on the inside.
Of course, and when you stay on this level of awareness, on this level of frequency with your charisma, and you can observe a group of people that are talking in a low frequency, for example. And you stay in this awareness of your great light. It's so interesting how they will change, how the conversation will change, because they will start talking in another way, in a very more positive way, because they get affected by your light, but they're maybe not aware of that. And that's, I think, sometimes it's quite a bit of a challenge to stay in this wonderful charisma, in this wonderful light, but that always wins. And you can create amazing, wonderful, abundant situations, I guess.
Yes, and then leave people and yourself included feeling better for it. We all, I think, know those people who, well, first of all, we talked about how we all know those people who are charismatic and they feel comfortable to be around, and we gravitate towards them. It feels good. But we also know the opposite and what that looks like, where, someone is sucking your energy, right? Those energy vampires, they just take, and they don't allow you the ability to express, right? So, letting your presence come through is felt in many ways, whether, again, that's a verbal or just being there, right? And sending that love to someone, and also, obviously we're not going to, fit into every situation or conversation and feel good and comfortable about that. But even in those moments where it doesn't feel comfortable, you can still send that love to that person. Everybody here on this planet is learning a lesson, and we all have our, things to figure out. So I think it's so important to approach people with compassion, and just know that if they're angry, they're hurting inside, right? They're just not that big jerk that you think they are. They're just that scared, hurt, wounded child trying to, find a place for themselves in this world. So I think that, part of having charisma, I think, is the ability to be yourself, but also to allow other people to be themselves and to view them with compassion, right? So that you can
Oh,
just witness the charm, coming from them, and also give them your charm.
of course, I couldn't say any better, Tanya. So, my dear, I think it's time now, and I thank you so much for paying your attention to our video, and I wish you a wonderful, charismatic day.
Yes, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you so much.